Welcome back, everybody. You got John and Joe here. Today we are talking about all things frozen logistics. Joe, we got a lot of programs out there. Let's start talking about them.
Yeah, so I guess we can start with our frozen LTL consolidation programs, which we have a handful of that we're able to offer our customers. A few of them are in the Midwest. Obviously, that's kind of where it makes the most sense to consolidate freight, to be able to ship it nationwide, deliver to every major retailer in DC on a weekly basis. So basically how it works is we pick up our customers' freight in a full truckload, and this freight's going anywhere. It could be 1 pallet orders, 5 pallet orders. We take it to our consolidation program or our warehouse, and from there we pair it with other shipments and pallets from our other customers and from our carriers' other customers, and from there we're able to ship a truckload to DCs. So with that, we're able to provide excellent service and communication, but also we're able to provide our customers with the most cost-effective price. Because I think with emerging and smaller CPG brands, it's difficult for them to find good transportation with smaller pallet counts and smaller volume orders. Mm-hmm. So with our program, we're able to pair those small orders with other orders to really drive their costs down and help them out.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good catch-all for different sizes of brands, right? And thankfully we have partners out there that are larger in size that really do give us the density we need to be able to offer similar solutions for brands in that emerging space. In terms of clarity, we have clients that are in inventory and we have clients that come through the cross-dock. It's in the same location. What are all the services that we do offer these clients outside of, LTL pickups?
Yeah, so we obviously have the LTL. With that, we can do truckload as well if the cost makes sense with volume and where it's going. Like you said, we have warehousing options and we have cross-dock options. So based on where our customers manufacture and where they store, with some of them it makes sense to bring it to our warehouse, keep it there, ship it out LTL from there. And some of our other customers, it makes more sense to cross-dock, which basically means they're storing it on their own. We're picking it up from where they store it, bringing it to our cross-dock facility, usually at the end of the week, so a Thursday or Friday. We're cross-docking it over the weekend and shipping it out the next week. And we pair that with our warehouse orders as well, because again, the more volume that we get into the program, it helps us out, it helps our warehouse out, but it also helps our customers out, because the more that we're able to fill a truck in terms of LTL, the more cost-effective we can get for our customers.
Yeah, what type of products are being moved on a regular basis?
Yeah, so we're moving anything from really 0 to -20 Fahrenheit. We move a lot of frozen foods, so egg rolls, just packaged food. We move popsicles, a lot of ice cream, -20 as well. So really anything frozen can fit into these programs.
Can I move the frozen food at -20?
You absolutely can. That's, really up to the customer. Some would prefer 0 to -10. Some don't care.
Sure.
So it's really up to the customer, but yes, you can.
Yeah, I know we built this thing from the ground up and we really found our niche in the frozen space. What are the challenges that come with moving, we'll say -20 product? And on top of that, why don't a lot of people do it?
Well, for one, I think it's expensive for the customers in the sense of, shipping something dry is a lot cheaper and easier than shipping something -20. I think for the carrier side, a lot of people want to stay away from it just in terms of what it does to the reefer. Our carriers and our carriers within these programs, they're basically getting new reefer units every basically 5 to 6 years. When you ship -20, you have to do that because, again, the product that people are selling in the -20 space is typically more expensive. So we could have one pallet that's worth $10,000, as opposed to something dry that's worth $2,000.
Sure.
So we need to make sure that we have top of the line equipment in terms of reefer units to make sure that we're able to sustain -20, especially when it gets hot outside.
Yeah. When clients are taking their product to market, whether it be an RFP or really they're just assessing their supply chain in general, how would you guide them through that and overlap the consolidation model with their product? Like what's that starting point for retail assessment? You're looking at their DC locations. How do you qualify them to go into which consolidation point?
Yeah, obviously, we don't have all the information that they have. We don't know what they're selling their product to DCs and Walmarts and Kahis for. But what we can do is give them all the information on the transportation side. We can say, hey, if you store with us here, you ship out of here, this is exactly what your cost is going to be based on your guys' forecasts. Yeah. So that gives them all the information to go back, to their customers and really analyze and say, okay, if we store here with them, we have these LTL rates. Then they're able to see, okay, this is what we need to mark up our freight. We know, and we're confident in our transportation solution to be able to know that they'll still be able to make money.
Sure. Logistics plays a huge role in profitability for companies. From my experience in going into these conversations with them, a lot of brands don't view logistics as almost a part of their bill of materials. So when they're separating out that whole list from like ingredients, packaging, so on and so forth, layering in logistics seems to be a pretty crucial piece to that. It's, if not the top cost in their business, it's the top 3.
Yeah, it's typically 1 or 2.
Like regardless of the size of your company.
For sure. In terms of expenses, it's usually 1 or 2. And the companies that we see succeed are the companies that are taking a hard look at logistics on the front end. Mm-hmm. We have so many conversations with customers that we're quoting freight for that then say, wow, this is eating up my entire cost to what they're billing the customer and eroding their entire margin. So doing that on the front end is extremely important to know, again, what you need to price your product to the Walmarts, the Kahis, the Unifis of the world, to know, hey, this is what I'm going to pay in transportation, probably my biggest expense, we're still going to remain profitable.
For sure. So when you look at logistics as a whole, like off the top of your head, how many companies are using it as an advantage to their business or viewing it as a necessary evil?
Yeah, I would say most probably necessary evil, but I would say the ones that use it as their advantage.
Sorry, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just part of it. That's, especially in the CPG space, a lot of people that are just starting out are, they're creative, they're visionaries. They're not really thinking or focused about transportation. So I think it's easy for them to look at, transportation is just a necessary evil cost. But I think that's where we can come in and assist and complement people like that and help them grow and make sure that they have all the information to go off of.
Practically, how do you get them over that hump then?
Well, I don't know if they necessarily need to get over that hump. I think they need to find people that can do that for them. And I think that's where we step in and say, hey, we're with you. We see your vision. We want to help you get there and make sure that you remain profitable by providing you with the best service to your customers on the transportation side as well as cost.
For sure. Is there a gap in the space right now that you see, and maybe not even within our services, but broad stroking it across the entire country or network of cold chain? What's like an ideal state for coverage or for brands to have access to?
Yeah, I think the ideal state is having multiple either warehouse locations or cross docks, not owned by the customer per se, but that their logistics partners have access to in specific regions across the country. Because again, most of these customers are shipping to Kahis, Unifis, Walmart, which have locations across the entire country. So they have to have the reach to get there. But if you're manufacturing and you're storing and you're shipping everything out of the West Coast, it's going to be very expensive for you to ship to the Southeast, to the Northeast. So having multiple cross-dock or warehouse locations, like we do in our program, really helps because when you have freight that's shipping to the Midwest or the Northeast, we can bring that to our cross-dock locations in that area, ship it out LTL from there instead of shipping it direct from California to Pennsylvania or wherever. So I think that's probably the biggest gap, but I think with what we're able to offer with our cross-dock locations and our warehouse locations, we do a good job of filling that.
Yeah, absolutely. One big observation I've had is that, and I'm sure you have as well, retailers are expecting quicker turns and access to the product that they're ordering. When you look at historical LTL, it's not flexible. It's pretty rigid. So the turn time and being able to be flexible and get that product into the retailers quickly is not great. Are you seeing that the ideal state that you mentioned would alleviate that or give retailers access to the product they need faster?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, with LogEx, essentially, if we get tendered freight in terms of our frozen LTL programs on Wednesday the week before, we can have it delivered next week to anywhere in the country. Mm-hmm. You know, and honestly, in terms of LTL, that's about as quick as it's going to get because, again, if you're going 2,000 miles and you're shipping it LTL, 5 to 7 days, it's not going to get any quicker than that. But again, I think retailers, you know, what I'm seeing is they're ordering sooner in a sense. So a lot of what I'm seeing is due dates for major retailers 2 weeks out, which really helps the customer and us plan to make sure that, one, we can meet the due date, two, we're able to move it LTL because we don't have to rush it in a truckload. So we can maintain the service. We can still provide the best cost in terms of LTL.
Yeah. So as we're nearing the end of this episode, I want to be really crystal clear on what this order flow looks like. So you mentioned when we started this episode, you pick up the product, you bring it to the cross dock, it gets paired with other brands, and then it goes to the same DC. Is it really that simple?
Yeah, it is. And I think that's one of the beauties about our programs is the flexibility and the quickness in which we can adapt and implement a new brand into the program. But yeah, it is that simple. I mean, we have customers that tender us freight on Wednesdays. We pick them up on Thursdays. We bring them to our cross dock by Friday or over the weekend. It's cross dock, and then it's shipped out the same weekend for delivery that week. So yeah, I hate to water it down because it does get complex sometimes, but that is the beauty of our program is, like you said, it really is that simple.
Well, you heard it here from Joe's mouth first, folks. Or maybe mine, I don't know.
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Right. But it really is that simple. Thanks for listening in and letting us be part of your day and talking about logistics. Have a great rest of your week.